trying to capitalize on the shortage. The president and vice president are about to highlight free internet access for low-income Americans. That's part of infrastructure funding. Federal subsidies will cover the discounted cost being offered by 20 internet providers. America is listening to Fox News.
Doug. Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. Optimizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 and 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's a jump from spring to summer this week on this Monday afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny skies, windy and warm. 89 for the high today. Tonight, clear, windy and mild, only going back to 69 for the low. On Tuesday, plenty of sunshine. 92 for the high on Tuesday. The record's 91, so that could fall. 92 again Wednesday and again on Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Think about it. If you paid $100,000 for a degree that's going to pay you $20,000 a year, you didn't make a good investment.
Talk about it.
First of all, our economy is not trickle down. They're going to give out that money. You know what it's going to do? It's going to trickle up. And it's going to end up in the pocket of people who produce things and own things. So, yes, the billionaires will get richer. And it's nonsensical. Biden gave out a couple $1 trillion, and it trickled up.
It's the place for ideas. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor, Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peters did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize portfolios, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. At Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you aren't getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Springtime hire sprees call for Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
If you use a smart speaker, you can listen to 97.1 easier than ever. Just tell it to play 97.1 FM Talk. Or download the Odyssey app for your phone and stream the station whenever, wherever. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
We're expecting to see people from Missouri, from Kentucky, from Indiana, from Wisconsin, from Iowa, really all the states that touch Illinois. All of them either have already started to restrict women's reproductive rights or they have trigger laws that will revert them to becoming anti-choice states. But we're also seeing people from as far away as Texas coming to Illinois to exercise their freedoms. And we've, of course, prepared for that, tried to expand the services for people coming to Illinois because we want them to be able to exercise those rights. And we're going to defend people all across this nation who want to, if they need to get an abortion, they know that they can come to Illinois and they'll be free.
Oh, man, that's Governor Pritzker, my governor, living on the Illinois side here of the Mississippi River, just setting themselves up for people to flock from the state of Missouri. As you folks clearly know, you cross the Poplar Street Bridge here and it says Illinois, where it's like basically where you're welcome to an abortion. There's a huge billboard. This is what Illinois has become, but on a national level, state by state by state, if Roe v. Wade is to be overturned, this is what we are going to be looking at. And somebody who knows a lot about this, especially bordering the state of Illinois, former governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker. He joins us now to talk about the potential overturn of Roe v. Wade. He's the president of YAF.org. Scott Walker, welcome to the Annie Frey Show. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Scott, can you hear us okay?
Thanks for having me back on. Great to be with you.
You know, I want to ask you, thank you for being here and thank you for what you do with the foundation, working with America's youth to instill some strong cultural, moral values back into our society. It's such an important thing to do, and you are leading that charge. Just give me your first impression of, you know, the leak, the SCOTUS leak of what that February ruling said, and what you think that the country is in store for in the next couple of months.
Sure. Well, first off, though, I couldn't help but hearing the Governor Pritzker. It's about the only time he's ever been excited to tell people to come to from Wisconsin or Missouri or Indianapolis or anywhere else to Illinois, considering how bad and poorly run the state is. But in the larger context, one, the leak itself, unprecedented, unconscionable, unbelievable, but yet these days, sadly, we expect, you know, if it weren't for double standards or low standards, the left would have no standards at all. And that's what we see with this leak. But leak or not, eventually, assuming, and all indications seem to be that this indeed will be the opinion of the majority of members of the Supreme Court. Now we go from the court of law to the court of public opinion. And that means, you know, the left will do and say almost anything to get away from what this is all about. And that's a baby. We just celebrated Mother's Day yesterday, although some people did, I guess, Birthing Person Day. But this was Mother's Day yesterday. And thanks to all the mothers across the country and around the world who gave birth to beautiful baby girls and baby boys at some point in their lives. That's what this is about, is protecting those unborn children.
We're speaking with Scott Walker, the former governor of Wisconsin, the president of the Young America's Foundation, YAF.org. I'm curious about your thoughts on what people in states like Missouri, which we're in right now, who have put in place a lot of laws that are going to really absorb the impact of this Roe v. Wade overturn very well, comparative to the people listening right now that are in the state of Illinois. What kind of action can those individuals take to make sure that they're influencing their state legislatures appropriately?
Well, I think first off, respond, all of us who are pro-life. I think one of the most important things you need to remember is, in light of all this, to respond with compassion and love, to talk about the love that we have, not just for that child, but for that child's mother, no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the outlook. I think there's a lot of rage and a lot of anger that we've seen now, not only around the Supreme Court, but even around justices' homes and at churches and elsewhere. We need to respond with compassion, because there's a lot of people who either have been fed a lie, told a lie that somehow abortion is easy and safe, and it's not. There are both physical and psychological, emotional reactions that come either immediately or long after. But we need to make the case, like I said, in the court of public opinion, and it's going to vary. Wisconsin, for example, has had a law decades and decades and decades before Roe v. Wade. That law is not enforceable. About half of the states in America either have, like Wisconsin law, already in place, or many states have what are called trigger laws, which means once Roe v. Wade is overturned, that would trigger some sort of protection for unborn life. You've seen others like Texas, like Florida, like other states who've just stepped up recently to not prohibit abortion entirely, but to do so early on in a pregnancy. And then you have other states like Illinois and California and New York that don't have any laws that allow abortion all the way up to birth. And for people in those states, they've got to step up and let their state lawmakers, Republican and Democrat alike, let their governors and others know that that's unacceptable, that that's extreme. Laws like what they have in Illinois are extreme.
I think it's so important for people to hear that over and over and over again, because if you live in a deep blue state like Illinois, especially, I live in downstate Illinois, and it's as red as any other red state that exists. It's just Chicago has such a large impact on the state, that hearing the extreme nature of what this Democratic Party is interested in imparting upon the people. I mean, the Democratic Party, from the presidential administration to governors like Governor Pritzker in the state of Illinois, but across the country, the Democratic Party seems to want to attack the family. The family seems to be ground zero for these politicians and their need for power. I'm curious if you agree with that, and if you do, why is that the case?
Well, I think you're right. I think we've seen over the last couple of years with COVID that there's some people put their faith in the government. They believe the government should do anything, even to the point the government should raise your children. They should exclusively have say about what your children are taught. And then you have people like myself and you and others who believe that instead of the government, the individual and the family and ultimately God should be the one you put your faith in and your trust in, because the government's going to let you down. There's been a sharp gap out there. But I think that's one of the fundamental differences. And on this issue, just one more point on the right to life, the right to protecting innocent life. One of the interesting things is, remember 2 years ago when then Virginia Governor Ralph Northam said on the radio, on a radio program in D.C., he acknowledged that a bill that was being proposed at the time would allow abortion all the way to even after the child was born. It literally vividly talked about how the child would be born, set aside, and then the family and the medical staff would determine what to do. What was interesting for us at YF, working with young people, the biggest shift in movement in terms of people to the pro-life position after that discussion were young people, were 18 to 24-year-olds, because they could see that this is a social justice issue. You want to be about social justice, standing up for those who literally have no one else but someone outside of the womb to advocate for them. This is the social justice issue at the time.
Yeah, I had a member of our show audience comment on last week on this issue, and they said the most privileged person to exist is a born person from somebody who's pro-abortion. Just to understand that the privilege to be born in a society where abortion is legal and celebrated even, There's
remember years ago, Bill Clinton, who I didn't agree with, but at least back in the 90s said abortion should be, rare, safe, and legal. I still thought he was wrong on it, but they were at the time recognizing that the public was opposed to that, didn't like the idea. But now, actually, I still think most Americans don't like it. I think they're just so intimidated by the radicals who demand abortion on demand at any point, any time, and who celebrate it, that most people who don't think it's very good just don't want to get in the middle of that fight. And it's all the more reason why we got to come back and tell people. Example I give is if a pregnant woman was in a car accident because of a drunk driver killed that woman's unborn child, if you were a friend of her and her family, you wouldn't send her just a get well card. You'd send her a sympathy card because you knew that accident caused the life of their unborn child to be taken. If we believe that in this society, how can we not stand and defend that child if instead of a criminal or a drunk driver, it's someone in an abortion clinic taking that life? We got to stand up for life and make the case for it.
I completely agree. We're speaking with the president of Young America's Foundation, the former governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker. One last question before we let you go, and we're really grateful for your time today. You said the word intimidated, and I think it's such an important word to acknowledge because you are a man who is speaking confidently about your pro-life nature. And I want to ask you about the rights of fathers, but I also want to ask you about the idea of being pro-life against abortion, but not the men specifically who don't want to tell women what to do with their bodies. What is your advice to those men?
We were just talking with young people just this weekend in Dixon, Illinois at the Ronald Reagan Boy at Home, where we had a high school conference at YF. And that was one of the questions was somebody said, well, how does it, how do you respond to a woman saying, well, a man has no choice? And I said, this is not my original thought. Someone else brought it up. You asked that person whether they're black or not. And obviously the young woman asking me the question was not. And I said, well, then ask them, do they have a position on slavery? Because there are plenty of people who are not African American who believe that slavery was and is and forever should be wrong. And there should be laws protecting against that. So just because you're not someone who's dealing directly with the issue doesn't mean you can have an opinion. In a just society, we believe in the protection of life. I'm all for freedom. I'm all for personal choice. I think the government's role should be limited. But I think where the government's role is responsible is maintain the laws that protect just things like the protection of innocent life. And in this case, again, if we don't advocate for that unborn child, nobody else will.
Amen to that. Real quick before we let you go, Young America's Foundation, YAF.org. I'm on the website right now. If a listener wants to support what you're doing, which is reaching out to those young folks in our country, what's your advice to them?
Well, the best thing is obviously we love people who volunteer and who give us financial support. But the best thing is if you got someone maybe you're a student yourself listening, maybe you got a son or a daughter, grandson, granddaughter, niece, nephew, neighbor, kid, go to YF.org, click on events. There's all sorts of things coming up. We have the Reagan Ranch out in California. I just mentioned the Reagan Boy at Home up in Dixon, Illinois, a little bit further near Rockford. We have things out in Virginia and D.C. We have them for high schoolers. We have them for college students. And we just started middle school programs. So help us identify kids to come to those programs. And you'll be amazed. They'll be amazed more than anything that there are a lot more like-minded young people than they think who share their values and views.
Well, we appreciate you, former governor of Wisconsin, the president of YAF, Scott Walker, for your time and for your message. And what a smart response to that question of men who kind of feel obligated to say something, but they just don't know how to do it and how to answer that question. You did a great job for us. Thank you so much. We look forward to having you back soon.
My pleasure. Have a good one. Bye now.
You as well. Bye-bye. Scott Walker with us at Scott Walker on Twitter. If you don't mind, go give him a thank you for being on the Annie Frey Show. We are at Annie Frey Show on Twitter, but you can thank Scott Walker at Scott Walker and tag the Young America's Foundation at YAF on Twitter and just get the word out. We will share this conversation that we had with Scott Walker on the website in a little bit, also on our podcast. And when we come back, we're going to do a little business here and explain to you some stuff that's going on in our show. So you're going to want to stick around while you're waiting for that. Join us on the YouTube live stream and vote in that live chat poll. How will the potential overturning of Roe v. Wade affect the 2022 midterm elections? Is it going to help Democrats? Is it going to help Republicans? Or no effect? Your vote on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll, and we return in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. 97.1 is St. Louis's radio destination for information with perspective. It's where St. Louis and beyond comes to talk. Right here, right now. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great! Because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done, and you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Manny in Chattanooga, whose local Granger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Politician Darren Bailey calls himself a conservative, swears he's a believer, but look closely at his record. Bailey's a deceiver, the textbook definition of a dishonest politician hiding his record. For instance, Bailey was caught on tape admitting he voted for Joe Biden. In his own words, listen.
I might have voted for Biden.
Biden for president?
I might have voted for Biden.
What kind of conservative votes for Joe Biden? The fake kind. Darren, the deceiver. But Bailey's a believer when it comes to one thing, property tax hikes. Voted 13 times to raise property taxes, increasing 81%, even higher than Chicago. Jesse Sullivan's no better. Claims to be conservative, yet Sullivan backed Obama for president. His campaign's propped up by Pritzker Democrats, just like Bailey's. Sullivan even founded a group pushing open borders and amnesty for illegals. Sullivan and Bailey, not true conservatives, no matter what they say. Paid for by Urban for Illinois.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you.
My feet would just ache, my back, my ankles. I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
No shots, no surgery, no medication.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Good Feet arch supports fit in all your own shoes. Come to the Good Feet store for a free test walk today. You can try it before you buy it.
It's time for an $89 AC tune-up.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Hard-earned pay. You and me Sunday driving
not arriving on our way back home. Run away home, run away home, we're going home.
Welcome back to the Andy Frey Show. If you missed it, we just got done speaking with the former governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker. Started the show off with an interview, which is not usually the way we do things, but we certainly did it today because it's always great to speak with him. He's also the president of Young America's Foundation, YAF.org, on Twitter at YAF. If you are watching us online, you know that we have a few things shuffled up today. Hannah is in studio on the board today. Hi.
Hello.
Doing a great job.
Thank you.
We're 27 minutes into the show and nothing's gone wrong yet.
Nope.
And the next segment is, generally speaking, where we would hit our Wiggins America segment, but Ryan Wiggins, he bailed on us Friday and he bailed on us again, and we're going to get to him here and talk to him. Ryan, what's going on? Where are you? What's the deal?
I am sitting in my car in my driveway.
That's lovely.
So that I can get some quiet because two of my kids are also home in quarantine now.
You're all quarantined, huh?
We are all four of five of us are stuck at home. So the other one's out playing and having a great time.
Tell us about the last weekend. And, you know, I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about this, so it's under your terms, but just tell us what's going on and you know, just let us know what the deal.
Well, so Thursday I started to feel a little bit of trickle in the back of my throat, but you know, it's allergy season.
Yeah.
Didn't think anything of it, but my parents had tested positive. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but now it's there it is.
Right.
I hope they're not listening.
I hope they are listening.
I started to get a little bit worried, and then Friday, because my kids were starting to get a little sick, I told you know what? I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make the live broadcast, which really stinks because I was looking forward to that. You know, we don't get to do a lot of those. And hopefully more and more as things start to open up, which is kind of the idea. And then right in the middle of that, then I get COVID too. So Friday I was laid up. Saturday, Sunday, still getting better. But I think I've rounded the corner. But man, I'm still struggling a little bit. So it might be a day or two.
This is
I'm back there.
This is not the first time you've had COVID either.
No, I had coronavirus 1.0, and I'm assuming this is probably 3 or 4.0 at this point. I don't know which. But yeah, like I figure too, it's weird, you know, the whole cultural perception of it in 2020 was like, you were such a pariah. And I think we're past that now, but we still have a lot of the rules in place. So you kind of have to deal with it differently than if it were just a cold, but it is like, even my own expectations have changed because when I first got it, I thought, and this is 2020 when I first got it, December.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is going to be a big deal. And then, you know, it was like a week of fatigue, but really just a 3 days of having a cold. And it felt like no big deal. This is pretty much the same thing, but my expectations have changed to where now I think, oh, well, this is like the weaker variants. So I should be over this much quicker, but it's basically the same thing. So I'm just sitting here.
Yeah. And, you know, you said like culture, it's kind of a weird experience for people to go through because you've got to like inventory everything you've done, like every step you've taken and go through that whole process. And it can be mentally taxing as well as physically taxing.
I think everybody's dealing with this now because we've all gotten to the point where if you get COVID, nobody is really like, you know, holding up a cross and like hissing at you anymore. But I think everybody still is dealing with all the protocols.
Did that happen to you the first time? Just checking.
Whoa. I think it was because I had eaten so much garlic. That was the problem the first time. They said there's a natural remedy for this. It's garlic. And I didn't realize they were talking about vampirism, not coronavirus.
You got those confused.
I did that a lot. You remember 2020. We were all getting those confused.
I was the one with the cross and the hissing. You weren't even sick with COVID.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, oh, by the way, last time I got COVID, you sent me a huge grocery order, and that was super nice. But here I am waiting with 2.0, and I haven't gotten anything yet.
Read
so
your text messages from last night.
Oh, did you send me something? I don't know.
No, I didn't send you anything. I asked you what you needed.
Oh, that's right.
You're hanging me out to dry. I was nice to you in quiet, and you're putting me on blast in public.
I know. Well, no, I'm giving you credit for the first one, because I don't think I ever told you thank you for that publicly.
You didn't have to.
But,
it was just groceries. It was just groceries. Why are we talking about this? We're talking about you, and I was being nice to you. I know. So you've spent some time at home. Have you been laid up the amount of time that you've been at home, or have you been able to like kind of putz around the house? How do you finish your time?
Well, it's every day I'm getting a little bit more energy, so I'm able to kind of do a little bit more. So today we all as a family took our one son who's not in quarantine to school, like it was a big trip, we all went, and that was probably our biggest activity of the day, because I think now my wife is asleep, but the other two, the two kids who are in quarantine, well, actually one of them just didn't have school today, so technically it's only one of our kids has to be in quarantine. But the two who are home, they're fine. They're playing and they're just putzing around, and that's fine. I think me and my wife are the ones who have gotten it worse as far as symptoms go. So I think day by day we're trying to force ourselves to do a little bit more. Yesterday I actually got on the riding lawnmower. That was a big deal. So
did you wear a mask? Did you wear a mask while you did that?
No, that would have been a great photo op though, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, people wear masks just so you don't get all those allergens and stuff. Like I'd imagine that the dust and the nastiness that you kick up when you're cutting grass combined with COVID.
It's not going to make you feel any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's what anymore. I'm so full of medication that I'm, looking out. I think I got 3 eyes when I look back in the mirror. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore because I'm so jacked up on everything. But it like gets rid of some symptoms and it causes others.
So we hope to have you back as soon as you're healthy, of course. And you're pretty close to being outside of whatever Dr. Fauci says you're allowed to do these days. I don't know what the numbers are
Right.
and the math is. But what do you have any thoughts on? Are you feeling good enough to be able to come back in a few days? Or you're going to need some time? Or
I'm aiming on coming in just for the show on Wednesday and seeing if I can, as far as having the energy to get through just that. I think that's my goal. And if I can do that, then I feel like I've, the trajectory is right. Because the way I'm feeling right now, I don't think tomorrow is going to be on the table yet. But Wednesday is my hope. So
okay.
Are you keeping your sugar levels up? I have to know.
Well, here's the deal, Hannah. In my bedroom, I've got a couple of what we call secret drawers.
They're probably not as secret as you think.
About.
The kids probably know about it. And if they tell you that they know about it, then you'll stop filling them.
No, you're probably right. But as long as they don't ever take anything from it, I don't care if they know about it.
Okay.
So I've got my secret drawers. And they were pretty well stocked. I've had a pretty good April as far as keeping the inventory high. And I didn't know this was coming. So really, this is a blessing that I had such a good April.
You're
and
like
I
a true candy prepper.
Yeah, exactly.
Prepare for an
that's
emergency.
A great way of putting this.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case of something like this happening, I had plenty of candy. I had a full 4-pack of king-size Reese's that I hadn't opened yet.
Ooh.
And I've pretty much gone through one of those a day.
Do you
so
eat
we're
those
done with that.
Reese's cups one just full? You don't even bite them, right? You just put them in your mouth.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, I eat one. So 4 Reese's in a king size, which means 4 bites.
Do you still have
which
your
is
taste?
not inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I haven't lost my taste at all. I don't.
good.
Well, not that I know of. I mean, I eat such potent things that I think that no matter if I had taste or not.
Some
it
might have
just
said
would
you
break
had no
through.
taste beforehand, but I don't know those people.
Oh, now we're getting into the comedy. Now we're getting it good.
Well, we're praying for you, Ryan. We want you to get better and take all the time that you need to get healthy and your family. And we want to encourage. I talked to Ryan last night about this, obviously, to see if he wanted to, if he wanted to have this conversation or if he wanted me to have it. And I just thought maybe it'd be good for you to come on here and talk to people and encourage them to pray for speedy recovery for you and for your family and anybody else who's dealing with this right now, of course.
Yeah, I really do appreciate if you're listening right now and if you can pray, because I'm a little bit concerned about how long I've had this abdominal pain. I hope it's not something like some weird organ failure or something. That's in the back of my mind. I'm a little bit worried about that. So I would appreciate the prayer.
Yeah. And you're getting everything looked at, getting it taken care of. And for the record, I've been checking in on Ryan Wiggins, and I want you, the real reason is so that everybody knows that I have done that, and you have to tell people right now.
Oh, yeah. You have been checking in on me. In fact, right before you texted me about, hey, do you want to come on right now? I had just called my doctor to talk about the abdominal thing because I'm a little worried about it. And I only did that because you told me I had to.
Well, see, there you go. I think I told you in 2020 that you had to get tested or something. I don't remember.
I know. Yeah, that's the reason I did it, is because in 2020 I was like, I'm fine. I'll come to the office tomorrow. And you're like, no, Ryan, go get tested. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then I had it. And so since you were right about that and you told me about the doctor today, I'm like, I'm going to listen to Annie. I'm going to do this and we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
boy.
People need to know I'm not the worst person ever to you all the time. Just when you're here and healthy. They care about you.
Just when we're off air, we're actually very kind, good-natured people. On air, we're just total.
Careful. Careful.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Careful.
We're total nice.
We're wonderful
jerks.
people. We're wonderful people.
Yeah.
Ryan, take care. And seriously, let us know what we can do to help you. And if you need the time, take the time and get better. And we look forward to when you return.
Okay. Thanks, Annie.
You're welcome.
Hey, good luck, Hannah.
We're all counting on you. Yeah. So that's where Ryan is. And it was a bit of a blessing that Friday he had to stay at home and take care of his kids, and it wasn't at the live remote. It was kind of Friday was crazy. We had so many things up in the air that we're juggling, and Ryan couldn't come to the broadcast on Friday because of sick kids that he had. Turns out he was sick as well. But we made it work.
We did.
And it was fun, and it was cold.
So cold.
You said it took you the day.
Yeah.
To warm up.
Yes. I did not fully defrost until late at night on Friday. It was so cold, but it was worth it.
It was super fun. The St. Clair County Republicans had us out at Tamarack Golf Course for their annual golf tournament, and we got to spend some time with them. And if you go check out the Annie Frey YouTube channel from 11 to about 11:50, I interviewed, I think, 7 or 8 different candidates in the state of Illinois, people who are running. Most of them have primaries. So if you're looking at state representative races, we had some judges, we had some governor candidates on there as well. You need to make sure that you go check out the Annie Frey YouTube channel on Friday's broadcast, and you can see the first 45 minutes or so is candidates who just were coming through one at a time and spending about 5 or 6 minutes with us. So when we come back, it's not Wiggins America. We're going to do a little more of my thoughts on the latest news that are out there. Hannah is in studio. And where's Brad? Well, we'll tell you about that when we come back as well. You can get onto the live chat right now and ask that question, maybe get an answer, because you might see Brad in there. Vote on the live chat poll. How will the potential overturning of Roe v. Wade affect the 2022 midterm elections? Is it going to help Democrats? Is it going to help Republicans? Or it's not going to have any effect at all? Go vote, comment, let us know why you voted the way you did, and we'll be back in just a minute. Don't go away.
You and me Sunday driving, not arriving on our
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Run away home.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Wayne was on the IL?
Yes, he is. He says that he has no symptoms at all, feels 100% fine, and he just needs to have 2 negative tests before he returns.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
The thing about getting your hair cut at Hair Saloon for Men is that when you go to Hair Saloon, you are going to understand very quickly why it is that this is the place that men go over and over and over again. And I get it, men. I know you're like this. You find something, you like it, you love it, you trust it, you rely on it. Why would you change it? If you are looking for the place to go to that is going to treat you this way with your haircut and give you a great haircut every single time, along with the rest of the stuff that comes with a hair salon experience, a complimentary beverage, enjoy a relaxing shampoo, and top off your visit with a hot towel mint and complimentary shoe shine. These are the types of things that Hair Saloon does when they say that men deserve better, this is the kind of treatment that they provide you. They have 16 St. Louis area locations on both sides of the river. My husband and my son go to hair salon, and I trust them wholeheartedly, and they always come back looking absolutely dapper. Excuse me. If you are looking for a haircut, you can make an appointment online at hairsaloon.com.
Joe Biden's weakness has emboldened our enemies. Now Vladimir Putin, Communist China, and Iran's mullahs are threatening our security. Where does Mary Miller stand? Mary Miller voted with AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Ilhan Omar to defund our military. That's right. Last year on December 7th, Mary Miller voted with the Socialist Squad to cut off funding for our heroes in uniform at a time when America's adversaries are on the march. Mary Miller can't be trusted. Fortunately, there are conservatives like Rodney Davis in Congress who support our military. Rodney Davis voted to increase the defense budget and give our troops a pay raise.
I'm Rodney Davis. I will always have the backs of our brave men and women in uniform. That's why I voted to strengthen our military, to keep America safe. I believe in peace through strength. I'm Rodney Davis. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rodney for Congress.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi, this is Ken and Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
You fix the cars.
You are listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org, and for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Hey, Fidel, yes, I know we rap like them, but Lord, we sounded like, but very different, like a harmony. I take advice from my daddy and my mama. They say, boy, this world could be kind of cold, but you create energy depending on what kind of cold. That's cold, meaning make the most of your situation.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. This artist is a rapper named Flame, who you may or may not have heard of, but he's from St. Louis. He's a Christian rapper, and I think he's got some great stuff, and I wanted to share him with you today. So we're going to play a couple songs from Flame. That's one of them, and I think he's great. I know that rap's not going to be everybody's thing here, but also, you know, like classic rock's not going to be everybody's thing. Pop is not going to be everyone's thing. So we want to expose you to all the things, because somebody out there probably thought that was the coolest thing ever, and we want to play that for them. That might have been me. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So the artist is Flame. He's from St. Louis. He's a Christian rapper, and I think it's great. So Brad is not in right now. Brad does not have COVID, and he knows this because he's taken 3 tests and is negative for COVID. But he does have sniffles, and if you even sneezed this weekend, you were not allowed to come into work. So Brad is taking the time off, but he is on the chat right now. So you can go onto the live chat, say hi to Brad. And also, if you are interested, would you please go drop a get well Ryan on the live chat, because he'll probably be poking in his attention on our show, probably streaming it here. And we want to send him well wishes and prayers for a speedy recovery. And hopefully, did he say Wednesday? He said Wednesday.
Yeah, he said he's going to shoot to be here the whole show on Wednesday.
Yeah. So if he's well, he will be back.
And I hope he is.
Yes, we absolutely do.
Brad, I hope your sniffles are getting better, but I love running the board.
Yeah, so we got to have Hannah in here, and Jake, who was running the board on Friday when we were at the remote, is outside doing the stuff to help produce our show and 3 other stations. So we are going to flex our muscles and hope that we make it to 3 and then everything's great.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
I think it's going to go really well.
So Mother's Day was yesterday.
Yes. I reminded you on Friday. I said, have a good Mother's Day this weekend. You're like, oh
yeah, that's right. Absolutely. I had forgotten. Oh, I'll tell you though, my mind, we had the Heritage event last week. We had the live broadcast on Friday. People were coming and going, and it was so intense that for me, it was Friday at 3 p.m. There was no time that existed after Friday at 3 p.m. until I got to Friday at 3:05. It was
exactly.
My mind was fully absorbed with that. And when you said Happy Mother's Day, I was like, I never even said anything on the air. So Happy Mother's Day to my mom. I'm sure you spent time with your mom yesterday.
I did. It was amazing.
What'd you guys do?
We went out to dinner and we played bingo, and it was so fun.
Where do you play bingo?
We played bingo at a restaurant in Fenton called Grand Slam, and they do bingo every Sunday, and it was so fun. None of us won, but it was still a good time, and my mom got to see her kids, and my sister, who lives in Iowa, got to FaceTime us, and she's going to be coming in town for my graduation. So we'll get to see her then, and
Great.
It was a really, really good time. What did you do?
I like how you threw that back at me. Church, and then we took my mother-in-law out for some barbecue at Fire and Smoke.
Never heard of that.
Wood River. There's one in Wood River. There's one in Troy. There might be a third one, but I'm not 100% sure. But we went to Fire and Smoke in Wood River, and it was delish. Love their barbecue. And then, so we took her out with my father-in-law, and then we went golfing at Cloverleaf Golf Course in Alton, Illinois, because part of my mom's Mother's Day gift was my siblings and I all went in and gave her a gift card to get new golf clubs.
Ooh.
It's funny because she's not a frequent golfer, but she likes to golf. It's just kind of one of those things that you golf, if you golf well, have you ever golfed?
Not an actual game. I go to Top Golf.
Not an actual game. That makes sense though. I've never been to Top Golf. I want to go to Top Golf so bad.
We should go there. It is so fun.
Well, let's do it. We'll make a plan. If you're actually golfing and you're not somebody who gets to do it on the regular for business, or if you have 4 children, it's super expensive to go golfing and to pay a babysitter and do the whole, it's just a lot. And at the end, I'm tired planning it all before I even get onto the first tee box. But when if you're a golfer, an amateur golfer like that, and you enjoy being outside and you've got some athletic skill, whatever, and you go out there, if you play well, you can't wait to play again.
I bet.
If you play terrible, you're I never am going to do this again. So the time frame in between those, it really depends on how well you play. And when we have a family golf scramble every year in June, and it's the maternal side of my family, and the whole clan gets together and we all go golfing, and then we all go back to my parents' house and have a barbecue and a pool party or whatever. And there are some very good golfers on that in the family, and there's the rest of us. I mean, most of us are not good golfers.
I feel like you are a good golfer.
Well,
do you give yourself enough credit?
That's the problem. I can be a really good golfer, but also a really bad golfer. Like if I think that I'm doing well, that's when I suck. If I crush a drive and I'm like, man, I think I'm getting kind of good at this, I will miss the ball on the next tee box or I will like top it and it'll just
I feel
roll
like
off the tee
golf
box.
is super mental.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
I wouldn't be good at it then.
So, well, I mean, like if you can just keep pushing through, you just got to keep pushing through and not get too down on yourself.
Every time Parker and I go to Topgolf, he's always trying to like correct my form and say, "Oh, you have to hold it like this." And I'm like, I want to do it my way.
That's awesome.
It works out probably 25% of the time.
Sure. But if you're not on the golf course all the time, it probably doesn't much matter. So my mom would golf. I'm guessing that maybe she'd golf a half a dozen times a year. And there are probably years where it's more, and then there are years where it's less. But there's always the family golf scramble. But every time I go golfing with her, I'm usually in the cart with her because usually the ladies ride together. And she always is complaining about her golf clubs. And I'm always like, well, then get new golf clubs. She's like, well, I don't golf enough to play. I'm like, well, maybe you would golf more if you had better golf clubs.
Right.
So
you're like, I've had it. You're getting new ones.
Yeah, I was fed up. And I said, go get new golf clubs. Here's a gift card from my siblings and me. And so we sent her to Golf Galaxy in Fairview Heights. And she went and we gave her the gift card and we're like, you can clearly go big or go home with this. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to get a really sweet set of clubs and go bigger than this. But if you just want to get like another entry level that's brand new, whatever, it would have covered that. So she got her new golf clubs and she played really well. I have no idea if it was the clubs or if she just, it could have totally been a mental thing.
Probably both.
Probably both. But we had a good time and I got some sun, which made me happy. So we were out and about. And then here's the thing. We went to eat. We had 8 people because my family has dozens of people in it. We have 6 people in my family, which includes like a high chair. And then my parents. It is so stinking hard to go sit somewhere and eat food if it's not 5:30 in the evening.
Yes.
Why is this so hard?
Well, it was Mother's Day. Everything is busier on Mother's Day.
We went to one unnamed, I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but we went to one restaurant in the Metro East and we walked in and I said, we have 8 with a high chair. And they said, she just kind of looked at me. She goes, I can't see you. And I was like, why? She goes, well, we only have the bar open and we only have one server here. And it was like
7:45.
And I was thinking, if they only have one server, I don't want to be here because even if you would seat us, because they were supposed to be open till we drove by, the door said they were open till 10. So we thought it's 8:00. We can totally do this. We're not being those people or anything. Right. You're open till 10 and at 8:00 on a Mother's Day, you've got a server.
Well, even if the server's doing their best, I mean, if there's only one of them.
What a disaster.
That's sad. That's really sad.
So then we went to I'll tell you where we ended up is 54th Street in Edwardsville. And it was the most pleasant experience.
Oh, good.
So normal. Like I don't know that it was like excessively positive, but it was 100% normal. It took probably 10 minutes for them to seat us, but we had 8 people and we can't sit at a high top and we can't sit at a booth because Molly wouldn't be able to sit in the high chair because the booths are raised up. So we had to wait for a certain specific kind of table. They sat us in about 10 to 15 minutes. The server was great. The food was delicious. They got it out quickly. And it was so normal that I asked for the manager when I was leaving and I said, I'm sure that you probably don't hear compliments like this very much, but I just want to tell you that it is very difficult for a group of 8 people to go eat past 7 p.m. And this was all around a very normal and very pleasant experience. And I just want to tell you that it was fantastic.
That's awesome.
We walked away. My daughter, my 9-year-old daughter was with me and she goes, Mom, he looked scared when he walked out here. And I was like, that's because when people ask for the manager, they're always complaining about things or demanding things.
Yeah, he probably hasn't received a compliment in forever.
When I said that to him, he like, I physically saw him exhale like, thank you. Like, did the last person to talk to you punch you in the face? I'm like,
Maybe.
I don't know why I felt like doing that, but it's just that everywhere we go it's so complicated and it's so difficult. And I can't understand why this is the situation at this point in time. We need to figure out a way to get it right and to get it right fast, because I will give you my business in Edwardsville, 54th Street. Thank you for being normal, and I look forward to coming back there again. When we come back, Stephen Moore is going to talk a little bit about this, and I'm going to talk to him about the formula shortage. Don't go away. Back in a second.
It's back by popular demand. The Cardinals purse giveaway returns to Busch Stadium on Saturday, May 14th, when the Cardinals host the San Francisco Giants. That day, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will take home a Busch Stadium exclusive Cardinals purse. This navy handbag features a gold medal logo on the front and many upgraded components. That's Saturday, May 14th, the Cardinals, the Giants, and the popular Cardinals purse giveaway. Get your tickets at cardinals.com.
Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. Folks go crazy for Funko Pops. And on Sunday, May 15th, when the Cardinals host the Giants, you'll go crazy for one, too. That day, 25,000 fans entering with a ticket will add the Ozzie Smith Funko Pop, exclusive to their collection, thanks to Coca-Cola and Schnucks. It's Sunday, May 15th, the Cardinals, the Giants, and Ozzie Smith Funko Pop, exclusive. Good seats remain. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call Attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's a jump from spring to summer this week on this Monday afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny skies, windy and warm. 89 for the high today. Tonight, clear, windy and mild, only going back to 69 for the low. On Tuesday, plenty of sunshine. 92 for the high on Tuesday. The record's 91, so that could fall. 92 again Wednesday and again on Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
These justices are acting like this is somehow something that they have the right to change.
Say it with me. We are not going back. We are not going back.
Roe says what all basic mainstream religions have historically concluded.
Abortion is religion for the far left, and they are willing to do anything to defend that religion.
97.1 FM Talk.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BREAK for a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BREAK for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code BREAK.
Gentlemen, spring is here. Recapture your vitality with Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. They're going to make it easy for you because they get rid of the excuses. They've got a brand new location that brings them to 3 locations close to you, one in Wing Haven and O'Fallon, Missouri, the other one in Town and Country there near Clayton and 141, and the original location off Greenmount Road in O'Fallon, Illinois. Book your appointment today. Go online to victorymenshealth.com.
2022 is zipping by quickly, and if you haven't taken care of that big exterior painting job for your home or business, CertaPro Painters can help. I've depended on CertaPro for all my painting needs for more than a decade now. They talk about something called the power of pro. That's the power of timeliness, the power of doing it right, the power of minimal disruption. They work to make sure it's a smooth project from start to finish. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, the power of pro. Check out CertaPro.com today.
Update your doors with 11% off right now at Menards. Pick up a Larson Storm Door today and start enjoying the fresh air with a screen-away retractable screen. What are you waiting for? Larson Storm Doors are 11% off. Get 11% off everything right now at Menards. Good through May 14th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Search for Alterna 90s on the Odyssey app and listen to great songs. And some you've probably forgotten about. Alterna 90s on the Odyssey app. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thank you for spending some of your Monday afternoon with us. We're glad you're here. Hannah is in studio today with us. Hi, Hannah. How are you doing?
Hello, good.
You are holding down the fort just fine. If you are wondering where Ryan Wiggins is, you can rewind on the show to 12:25. That's on the Odyssey app. And you can listen. He called in the show and we had a conversation with him at 12:25. So we, if you're interested in that, check that out. But we're going to have a guest here. And I want to play this before we get to our guest because we need an explanation, of course.
Let me remind you again, I reduced the federal deficit
All the talk about the deficit from my Republican friends, I love it. I've reduced it $350 billion in my first year in office. And we're on track to reduce it by the end of September by another $1.5 trillion, the largest drop ever.
Sounds like he's doing great. Can't you tell? Doesn't your checking account and your pocketbook and your 401k feel really, really great based on President Biden's economic agenda so far? Well, I don't know. Stephen Moore probably feels personally attacked by that comment. The senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks joins us now. What is he talking about?
Hey, Annie, great to be with you. Well, also, I don't know if you were aware of this, but Joe Biden also cured cancer. Have you heard about that?
No, I have not heard about that yet.
So, look, this is a very, very dangerous moment for our country. The stock market is crashing again today. We've seen, 3 or 4 days in a row of just a downward spiral. It's a really dangerous moment. And, usually I'm a big optimist, and I still think we can avoid a recession. But when Biden says lunatic things like that, a guy who's added $3 trillion of new spending, and he's talking about reducing the deficit, it just makes you wonder whether he's just delusional. And by the way, this is all being written by, he's just reading these scripts, right? I think everyone knows that. So you've got these crazy people in the White House who are left-wing ideologues who will write or say anything. And what we need, he's going to give a big speech tomorrow, Annie. And he's going to talk about, instead of doing what Bill Clinton did, which was kind of move back to the middle after his left-wing policies failed, and Clinton saved his presidency that way, Biden seems incapable of that, of moving to the middle. And so I'm expecting that he's going to double down on his failed policies of more climate change craziness. He's talking about higher taxes, reversing the Trump tax cuts. He's talking about another $1 or $2 trillion of government spending. That's pouring kerosene on a forest fire. And I think that's one of the reasons the stock market is selling off so aggressively right now, is that people are worried that he is not capable of rescuing an economy that's really precarious right now.
I'm seeing people on CNN and CNBC really start to criticize what he's doing to the economy, which makes me feel like that's a major red alert that other networks that usually are pretty play favoritism towards this administration can't deny what's taking place right now. Does this change, do you think, the administration's agenda if they start taking criticism from less likely places?
I think, first of all, I don't think Biden is going to switch course. If you've got if I used to coach high school football, if your team is losing, you change your strategy, right? You get some new plays. You don't keep running the same plays. And yet that's what Biden is doing. He's actually saying that the reason that we've got this crash in the stock market and the economy is floundering now is because Republicans won't pass his agenda. Thank God for Joe Manchin. Can you imagine for a minute, Annie, if Biden had actually passed that $4 trillion spending bill on top of all the debt we have? We wouldn't be talking about 8 to 10% inflation. We'd be talking about 20 to 25% inflation. And in fact, by the way, last week or two ago, when I was on your show, I got a friend of mine in the St. Louis area called me and said, "Hey, stop saying there's only 8.5% inflation." That is the official numbers. But, when you see that the gas prices doubled and you see food prices up, 30, 40, 50%, a lot of people don't even believe the inflation rate's 8%. They think it's closer to 20%.
That's not sustainable. It's all crazy to think how drastically the economy has taken a turn. And we're like, 1.5 years, not even into this administration. It's going to, it inevitably seems like it's going to have to get worse. And I don't know how much middle-class America or even, the poor among us are going to be able to sustain living under this president.
Well, a couple of observations about that. First of all, what's so heartbreaking about this is that if Trump were president today, the economy would be absolutely booming. I can't tell you how many people come up to me. I'm in Las Vegas right now for a big conference, but I've been, about 12 states in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I've been traveling around a lot. And people will come up to me on street corners and, they'll say, are you that economist I see on Fox News? And they'll say, I didn't really like Trump that much, but I really liked his policies. I liked what he did for the economy. I think people are starting to see, that the policies worked under Trump. And obviously there's been a huge reversal of change of our nation's fate with Biden in office. So, but, Chuck Schumer the other day gave a speech saying, the first thing we need to do to bring inflation down is repeal the Trump tax cuts. I mean, what planet are these people on?
And he wants to do $50,000 of student loan forgiveness.
Oh, my God. I mean, really? I mean, well, first of all, where's the money going to come from? I mean, it's important for people to understand the match that lit this forest fire of inflation was all the multi-trillions of dollars of spending. So spending more money is only going to make the situation worse. We need dramatic reductions in spending. If I were advising this president, which of course I'm not, I would say, cut every agency by 10 or 15% immediately. We got to stop this flow of money through the government, which is spending it incredibly inefficiently. And incidentally, Annie, how many people do you think would ever repay a student loan if we forgive people of the student loans that are already out there?
No, absolutely. And nobody is doing anything about the cost of education. It's just the free money that comes after it.
Exactly. It's the greatest financial swindle in America is how much these universities and colleges that are fat and happy and subsidized by government keep raising their tuition over and over, year after year after year after year. I told you that when I went to the University of Illinois, now that was in the early 80s, the tuition was $1,000 a semester. Now it's $15,000 a semester. I mean, we just keep feeding the beast. And it gets fatter and fatter, and nobody does anything about it. So, it's not too late to avert a recession. It looks like we're on a course to recession, but I still think with corrective action, we could sideswipe a recession. But I don't see any good ideas coming out of this White House. Now, my buddy Larry Kudlow, has been saying on Fox News, the cavalry is coming, and he's right. In November, there's going to be a switch of power in the House and Senate. Pelosi will no longer be Speaker. But at this point, looking at what's happening in the stock market today, I don't think we can wait till November.
Yeah, we don't have the luxury of time. And unfortunately, this administration has a lot of time left. We're speaking with Stephen Moore, the senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, author of a book that is kind of in the context of what we're talking about right here, Govzilla, how the relentless growth of government is devouring our economy and our freedom. What is this incoming likely Republican Congress need to do on day one?
Cut spending. We've got to make the Trump tax cuts permanent. And the third thing we need to do, in fact, it's funny you should ask me that. I'm literally writing a column right now about this, before we came on the air. And the third thing we need to do is restore American energy dominance and drill and mine and use all the energy we have. Everything. Use it all so we don't have to be dependent on these other countries.
Yeah, it seems pretty basic. And, I think about the things that you're suggesting on an economic level, but then comparing that to what the everyday person is dealing with. I have an almost 11-month-old daughter at home. She is a formula fed baby. We are getting close to the place where she could go on to, cow's milk. But the formula shortage that is taking place in this country right now is terrifying. It is terrifying mothers all across the country. I'm curious about your thoughts on how this fits into supply shortage. Does this fit into this administration's current economic plans? Is it a completely separate issue?
You're bringing up something else that is related to what we've been talking about. So I'll give you another example. By the way, the food, I am worried about food shortages. I really am. Look at I've talked to farmers. I was in Nebraska last week, and the farmers saying, look at what's happening, the cost of our fertilizer, the cost of the pesticides, of the cost of irrigation. Those are all energy. Agriculture is very energy intensive. So when the price of oil and gas and coal and electric power go up, the price of food goes up. And so we are looking at, potentially even higher prices of food because we're looking at potential shortages. And that's going to cause, more financial stress for American families. But the real tragedy is, look, we will be able to get through that without people going hungry. But think about in other countries, poor countries, we could see, huge, massive increase in hunger and even, famine. And so that is a scary situation. I'll give you another example. I went out with my wife this weekend. We were looking at maybe buying a new car because our car has 150,000 miles on it. And there were no cars to buy. I mean, we went to 4 dealerships. They don't have any cars they have cars in the showroom, but you can't buy them.
Yeah.
And you have to wait. They said you're going to have to wait 3 to 6 months for delivery.
Yeah, what if you wreck your car? Like, what if you don't have a car? That's it. It seems like that part of this problem is expanding and expanding and expanding, and it's going to cause panic in consumers, not just from a what do I do with my 401k situation, but how do I get the things that I need to sustain my family this specific week? Well,
did you see, by the way, there was another report that was in the Wall Street Journal this weekend. Everybody should be paying attention to this. It basically interviewed a number of major CEOs of utilities. They're the ones who provide our electric power. And they said that all the way from California to New York and even in the Midwestern states like Michigan and Indiana, we could see blackouts because of this crazy reliance on wind and solar power, which is completely unreliable. And if that happens, that's an economic and public health crisis. If you can't turn the lights on, if you can't get heat or air conditioning for your home. So I want to tell people, you might be smart to have generators if you don't have one, because the grid system is very unreliable because we're forcing utilities to buy all this wind and solar power, which is not only expensive, but what happens when the sun isn't shining and the wind isn't blowing?
Man, it's just not a lot of good news to be had these days. And, I guess the good news is November is coming, but it's going to be a few months before that takes place. Stephen Moore,
hopefully, the Fed did take some corrective action to try to get, this inflation rate down last week.
Yes.
But I don't think they were quite aggressive enough. So maybe you caught me in a bad mood today because I've lost.
No,
in the last
I
few
think
days,
everybody's feeling that. I think that probably speaks straight to the hearts of the people who are listening right now. It's a stressful time.
One thing, if it were like COVID was a natural disaster, right? It was an act of nature. This is not an act of nature. This is specific policy proposals from Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden that have wrecked our economy. And the question I guess asked all the time is this intentional? And, I've always said, no, this isn't intentional. They're just misguided. But I don't know. Maybe that is intentional. I don't know.
They're so good at being bad. It is a man-made disaster.
Exactly.
It makes people scratch their heads. Stephen Moore, thank you.
The other thing is every day that Joe Biden is in office, the American people recognize, what a good president Trump was.
That is true. People are probably questioning their disgust for him
exactly
significantly. So we'll talk to you again next week, Stephen Moore. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Bye-bye. You as well. The senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, at Stephen Moore on Twitter. Seriously, go get that book, Govzilla, How the Relentless Growth of Government is Devouring Our Economy and Our Freedom. I mean, it truly is conservatism, fiscal conservatism, to talk about shrinking the size of government. He says 10 to 15%. Remember when I think it was Sean Hannity was pounding the fist on the table about the penny plan, cut everything by 1%? It's like inflation of cutting. 10% cut across the board, 15% cut across the board. Would we be able to sustain that? Stephen Moore seems to think we could. Something else. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, more Annie Frey Show right around the corner. The live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. How will the potential overturning of Roe v. Wade affect the 2022 midterm elections? Is it going to help Democrats, help Republicans, or have no effect? More Annie Frey Show in a minute. Don't go away.
Call it magic.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
Call it true.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
When I'm with you.
Decision 2022 is happening. Are you ready to decide? The primary candidates are here because they want to talk to you. Decision 2022. Right here, right now, on 97.1 FM Talk.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you can get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Wealth changing question. Is your advisor giving you incomplete advice? Besides investing, there's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that can be stressful to organize. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house, ensuring all aspects of your wealth are working harder together, so you can enjoy your wealth instead of worrying about it. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
The following is furnished by Retirement Planners of America. Past performance is no guarantee of future results.
The stock market has seen all-time highs this past year, but are we due for a crash? If so, does your retirement plan include an exit strategy? Call today at 866-374-0841 to schedule a free retirement assessment to learn about protecting your assets from a market collapse. That's 866-374-0841. 866-374-0841.
Introducing EarLens, a new approach to the treatment of hearing loss that uses a tiny custom-fit lens to gently vibrate the eardrum without surgery. That means EarLens gives you 2.5 times the audible bandwidth of traditional hearing aids for dramatically better speech understanding. EarLens may result in improved hearing, even in noisy listening situations. To learn more, go to earlens.com today. That's EARLENS.com and register for a free virtual consultation. That's earlens.com.
The following is a paid political announcement. In 2015, Black Lives Matter chanted, In March 2021, Aurora Mayor Richard Irvin wrote, I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately. In July 2020, Black Lives Matter rioters did this to Chicago police in Grant Park.
Police said the PVC pipe used to hold the Black Lives Matter banners had been sharpened and were taken out and used to jab at officers.
In March 2021, Richard Irvin wrote, I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately. In August 2020, Black Lives Matter Chicago organizer Ariel Atkins said,
I don't care if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Nike.
In March 2021, Richard Irvin wrote, I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately. For years, Black Lives Matter promoted looting our cities and deconstructing the nuclear family. Yet Richard Irvin bragged, I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately. And Richard Irvin wants to be your Republican candidate for governor? Only in Illinois. Tell Richard Irvin you won't support a Republican who supports Black Lives Matter. Vote no on Richard Irvin. Paid for by people who play by the rules pack. This was a paid political announcement.
It's time for an $89 AC tune-up.
Take a seat, right over there, sat on the stairs, stay or leave. The cabinets are bare, and I'm unaware of just how we got into this mess.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
So pull me closer, why don't you pull me close? Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. Oh, baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle?
I don't know if the leaked draft opinion will reflect the finished product. I doubt it, but I don't know it. What I do know is the issue is not going away. If Roe versus Wade is overturned and the issue reverts to the states, some states will ban all abortions, including in the case of rape, incest, and when the life of the mother is in danger. And some states will expand access to abortion and allow it up to the point of birth, or maybe even beyond in the case of partial birth abortions. It may be fine for the 50 states to have different views on education or crime or the legalization of drugs. When life begins is not an issue subject to 50 different opinions. The right to life is not only mentioned in the Constitution, no person shall be deprived of life. It is also mentioned in our birth certificate, the Declaration of Independence, endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life. You do not have to look in the penumbra or shadows for the right to life. It's right there in black and white in both of our foundational documents.
Trey Gowdy on his show, I think a Sunday night show on Fox News, talking about the potential overturn of Roe v. Wade. And he really makes it very clear. He's a prosecutor. He is a former congressman. I have seen him. He came and did a Vitae event with us here in St. Louis, and it was just a really compelling. He has a really, really compelling advocacy for life. And I listened to him on these specific issues. He talks about the essence of life, the existence of it, and the need to preserve it. And how does that fit into our government structure?
Democracy is hard. It was intended to be hard. It's a privilege earned with the lives and limbs of others. It's easy to sit around and wait for 5 lawyers in black robes to look in the shadows of a penumbra and tell us what our rights are. That is judicial oligarchy. It's harder to go into the public square and the ballot box and the floor of a legislative body and debate it. But that's what we should do. Do it for ourselves, not wait for unelected lawyers who live lives of virtual isolation to do it for us. Our rights do not belong in any shadow. Bring them into the light.
That is 100% right. The way Trey Gowdy is speaking about this, I think, is so important. And you have to ask yourself the question, if abortion is such a necessary facet of our society, then why would the majority be against it? And if the majority is for it, then why would we be afraid of it going to the states to determine whether or not it's an appropriate practice that should be legalized in our country? Why are we afraid of the idea that abortion should be discussed among our representatives and decided on at that level as to the legality of it? I see people in my life, I see people in the media, I see people in my social media timelines who on this particular issue, they're so evasive of the actual issue of what abortion is. They don't debate abortion. They debate women's rights. In a different week, they will be saying birthing persons instead of women. In a different week, they will be attacking people for, political woke agenda driven mentalities where if you don't use the right word here, you can be attacked for being a hateful person, a sexist person, a misogynistic person, a racist person, whatever the word is that they throw at you. We live in a society currently, and it's truly because of the media first and foremost, and the political power that exists because of the agenda-driven media, that this is able to exist. We live in a world of threats. We live in a world where our policy is driven by threats. The concept of silent majority, it's, in my opinion, never been more true than it has been probably in the last 2 to 4 years, up until this very moment in time. And it's becoming less and less silent. with each passing day because the people on the other side are becoming more and more fringe. It is extreme. Going back to what Scott Walker said with us at our 1205 segment. Going back to what he's talking about, these policies that are being pushed by the left are extreme policies. How does something that is extreme become mainstream? The other side doesn't speak up. Why does the other side not speak up? Because they've been threatened into being silent. So much so that this is happening.
I think for a lot of people, a conversation about civility feels like it misses the mark when constitutional rights that you believe that you had for over 50 years are about to be overturned. The justices have security. So far, all of the protests have seemed overwhelmingly nonviolent. There are plenty of protests that happen every single day in this country, around the country, at abortion clinics, blocking women from getting into clinics. And we don't cover those as if there's 4 alarm fires. And so, yes, they're going to be protests in front of Kavanaugh's house because people are angry. And as long as they stay nonviolent, I think for most of the people who are watching it, you can understand where they're coming from. Even if you may think politically it's not the right thing, you can understand sort of where that animated feeling is coming from.
It's actually illegal to do this. It's actually against the law to protest in this manner in front of these justices' houses. You are actually not allowed to do this. And then you have Laura Jarrett on CNN defending these people who are going to the houses of these conservative justices and protesting something that actually hasn't even truly come to be yet because they want to bully their way into the court system. Laura Jarrett there says something about people defending the constitutional rights that they thought they had for 50 years. I've got news for you, Miss Jarrett. You have no constitutional right to an abortion. It does not exist. That's the predicate of this ruling written by Alito. That is a draft. That is from February. The constitutional right to abortion doesn't exist. That's the whole point of overturning Roe v. Wade, if that is what, in fact, ends up happening. Ruth Bader Ginsburg has even commented on that before. People on the left will tell you all the time. I mean, like, take a shot every time. It'll be terrible. Every time you hear these politicians say that it's the end of democracy. If their party doesn't get elected, the Democrats say this all of the time. And it just blows my mind that no, it doesn't. It makes the most sense in the world that democracy would end if Republicans get elected, that the Democratic Party uses that as a thread to suggest that only one party should ever rule. And if anybody from the other party gets in there, then democracy would die. What the heck is democracy? Like, what do these people think it is? Are they stupid? Of course they're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. You could sit here and listen to this and pull your hair out and go, I can't believe they would say this. I can't believe they think this. No, they know exactly what they're doing. Take a deep breath, exhale, and beat them. Go to the ballot box and beat them. Go to your local county Republican organization and ask how you can get involved. Beat them at every level. Who cares about the presidency in 2024 right now? I know people are obsessed with, is Trump going to run? Is Trump not going to run? If he runs and wins, it's going to be the greatest story ever told, other than one, which is the Bible. I feel like I had to insert that. The greatest secular story ever told. Let me correct myself there. If Donald Trump runs in 2024 and wins the election and has no election on the other end of that 4 years, I can't even begin to think what that's going to look like. I'm going to have to get a seatbelt for this chair and buckle up because it's going to be crazy. That is so far away from now. And the problems that we think we have now, we haven't even begun to know what 2.5 years left in this administration that oh my gosh. There's too much time. We have to worry about here and now. And I'm not even talking just about the November elections. I'm talking about the Missouri primary and the Illinois primary. Are you involved in that process? Do you know who your candidates are? Are you prepared to be active to support the person in Missouri? August 2nd is the primary. Are you prepared to take action and support, actively be out there and fundraise and talk to people about it and hand out flyers or whatever it is that your local organization is doing, and get involved? Because we don't have this kind of time. And the other side has so successfully, for at least 10 years now, it's probably more like 14 years, 15 years, been able to, like the Regina George of the high school. And if you don't know that and you've never seen Mean Girls, shame on you. It's a fantastic documentary. You need to understand that the Democratic Party has been the bully. They have been the people who have been able to successfully give dirty looks to individuals and go, oh, I don't want to mess with those people. They're going to call me names and I just don't want to deal with that. And I'm not a confrontational person. So I'm just going to stay to myself. And if I'm still going to vote the way I vote, but I don't want to get involved. I don't want to start fights. I don't want to fight with my cousin or my aunt or my grandpa, or I just want to be quiet about this and I'll just keep to myself. You can't do that anymore. Too much is at stake. If Roe v. Wade, think about this. If Roe v. Wade is to be overturned, think about the authority and responsibility that is going to fall to your state legislature. Think about the people who are sitting in Jefferson City right now in the state of Missouri, who are going to have the responsibility to protect and defend in perpetuity the right to life. You got a whole lot of Republicans piled up on top of each other in Jefferson City, and they don't seem to be able to get along. They're going to have to figure out a way to ensure that the unborn are protected in the state of Missouri. They've been doing a great job, but it's going to have to last. Now let's cross the Mississippi River and kind of cover our eyes and shield our face from the liberal shine that just comes off of this blue state, and think about what Illinois is going to try to do with their supermajority of Democrats in the House of Representatives, in the supermajority of Democrats in the state Senate, and a J.B. Pritzker governorship. What are they going to do when they realize that the states that surround them, the ones with common sense and a compassion for the unborn life of children within their states, what are they going to do? If only we had something that would tell us.
Well, we're expecting to see people from Missouri, from Kentucky, from Indiana, from Wisconsin, from Iowa, really all the states that touch Illinois. All of them either have already started to restrict women's reproductive rights, or they have trigger laws that will revert them to becoming anti-choice states. But we're also seeing people from as far away as Texas coming to Illinois to exercise their freedoms. And we've, of course, prepared for that, tried to expand the services for people coming to Illinois, because we want them to be able to exercise those rights. And we're going to defend people all across this nation who want to, if they need to get an abortion, they know that they can come to Illinois and they'll be free.
Fire this man now. Get rid of J.B. Pritzker now. I know that you have a whole list of people in the state of Illinois who on the Republican primary ticket want to take J.B. Pritzker's job. And they're going to have to fight it out and they're going to have to duke it out. And thank God we have options and we have choices, great choices for governor in the state of Illinois. If you don't hear that and immediately think to yourself, I got to do something to make sure that the Republican wins this race, so that whatever this nonsense supermajority of Democrats in the General Assembly want to send to the governor's desk, they say, hell no, take it back, not here, not in Illinois anymore. Fire this man today. Get rid of him. Make it so that he dumps tons and tons, millions and millions and millions of dollars into his worthless campaign so that he can fail in November the way he has failed the state of Illinois for 4 years. Get rid of J.B. Pritzker. Life is at stake. It's not just as simple as, well, the taxes in the state of Illinois are really high and my property taxes were. You need to listen to this man. He wants to be the lighthouse, the beacon for abortion across the country. It's not about Illinois. He wants to bring Missouri people into the state of Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Indiana. Come one, come all. Bring your tired and weary to the shores of Illinois, and we will abort your babies. Up to the point of being halfway out of the mother's womb. This is the sick man and what he wants to do in the state of Illinois. I don't even care if you're one of those men who doesn't really like abortion and you're pro-life, but you call yourself pro-choice because you don't want to tell a woman what to do. Think about the extent of what this man wants to do. And he wants the industry of abortion to come to the state of Illinois. The only jobs that he's attracting to the state of Illinois are abortionists and people who want to end the lives of babies. This trash of an administration, this is what he wants to do to the state of Illinois. It's disgusting. There's no amount of time left to sit on the sidelines and not be absolutely active. Absolutely, passionately, unstoppably active. To take this man down and send him packing to his horse farm in Wisconsin, because we all know in COVID, when he was locking this state down, that he did have to go to Wisconsin and take care of his horses, as if he's the only person that is there to take care of them. And his wife's in Florida enjoying the wonderful state that Florida is and the freedom that Ron DeSantis strangely has to provide by getting the heck out of the way so people in Florida can make their own decisions. Governor J.B. Pritzker wants to make every decision for you. He knows better. He is the bastion of health. He is the guy who knows what's good for you. Just look at him. He understands exactly what you need to do with your life, how you need to run it, and he is ready and willing to take your freedom away to provide you for the security you never asked for. It's not just in the state of Illinois. It's in the state of Missouri. You have a Senate seat that's up, and there is so much at stake. We have a president of the United States who doesn't know what day it is. We have a cabinet that is probably running this country into the ground every day. I have a whole list of things. I could ask for guests to come talk about a whole host of different things. I can't get to all of the dumpster fires that are existing in our country right now. An unmitigated disaster, a man-made disaster. This doesn't have to be this way. And if you think that you are going to wait for a Republican to get in office and fix this, that does not happen without you. That doesn't take place without your ability to be as mad as hell, not take it anymore, and to go do something somewhere. I saw somebody on the live chat made a comment like, it's hard to be super active because we're the working people. We go to work. We have jobs. We have responsibilities, and we meet our responsibilities. I get it, but you got to find the time. We don't have a choice. You have to find the time. It's only going to get worse from here. Nothing in this past year and a half, nothing has gotten better. We have to go be active. We have to be seen, and we have to be heard. Do not be bullied into being quiet anymore. You can be kind and honest at the same time, and you have no other choice. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute.
So pull me closer. Why don't you pull me close? Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. Oh, baby. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Wayne was on the IL.
Yes, he is. He says that he has no symptoms at all, feels 100% fine, and he just needs to have 2 negative tests before he returns.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
So if you're looking to buy a home or sell your home in the state of Illinois, Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance, she is your go-to. She is fantastic, and she is going to help you sell your house fast for top dollar. Simple as that. RE/MAX Alliance, like I said, she has 15 plus years of experience helping families with selling and buying of the buying of homes. Now, Illinois is a really great market. It's a hot market right now. And you want to make sure that you go with somebody who has the expertise to help you sell your home, who's going to give you the information that you need to sell it for top dollar, is going to use a team, her whole staff that she has, that is going to help take perfect pictures and position your home in the best possible way to sell. She's been doing it for years and years and years, and your home could be next. If you're looking to sell your home now or even within the next year, reach out to Jen Teskey with Remax Alliance. You can call her or text her at 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event, Tuesday, May 24th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. There's limited seating, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned how all the market volatility is hurting your retirement accounts? Did you know there are financial tools that allow you to participate in the market growth and still protect you from any losses? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg from market losses and still generate more income than most investment options? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisor of my show, Thomas Helbig, Tuesday, May 24th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Call 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Attention Republicans, stand by for important election information. Oh, Democrats can listen too, I guess. But they probably won't, because if you're still a Democrat, you're clearly not paying attention. Anyway, in the Republican primary for Congress, President Trump has endorsed conservative Mary Miller. Repeat, Mary Miller is the official Trump choice for Congress. We like repeating it to annoy any Democrats who are still listening. Well, the point is, Mary Miller backs term limits. She's strong on election integrity. And Mary Miller will stand up to AOC and the green energy socialists that are just killing us at the gas pump. Conservative Mary Miller for Congress, the Trump Republican choice. And in case Joe Biden hears this, we now repeat our message in a way he can understand. Trump endorsed Mary Miller. Paid for by Club for Growth Action, clubforgrowthaction.org, and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics. Start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality, water heater, and AeroSeal duct sealing services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
party where they are not willing to support protections for our democracy. They're willing to install a president in the White House who didn't actually win either the popular or the electoral vote. They seem to be targeting vulnerable kids in a way that they didn't 10 or 20 years ago. I do think it's important to sort of talk about this very different element of the Republican Party that exists today that I don't think was the foundation of the party a couple decades ago.
That is Olympic gold medal gaslighting by Senator Chris Murphy, as Democrat from Connecticut. He's very concerned that the Republican Party is leaning towards extremism. I mean, somebody come on the live chat here and tell me, name a single policy of the Republican Party, not like the far right winger neighbor that you have that you can't stand. The Republican Party, name something Republican Party stands for that is extreme. Because if you want to go down the list of things that the Democrat Party stands for that is extreme, how about the idea of sex changes on children? That's extreme. That's so crazy extreme. How about the idea of abortion? We're not even talking about up to birth. We are literally having conversations in this country, in blue states, about what to do if a baby is born that wasn't supposed to be. Ralph Northam said that they would make everybody comfortable and then have a conversation with the mother and the doctor. They didn't even mention the father. What if the father was in the like? It's just, this is extreme. These are extreme policies. It's not just about what the Democratic Party stands for, because in fact, it's much, much, much more about how they talk about it.
But I do say that I have many conservative values that I will talk to you about. And so if you look at your network that you're standing behind, yes, and when you look at your network that you're standing behind, you're saying that you look at Chris Cuomo.
I feel like that's an oxymoron, a black Republican.
You feel like it's an oxymoron? I do. Why? Your friend right here is a Republican.
We had this conversation.
You do, and you say you feel like it's an oxymoron that you're Catholic, but you also are pro-life.
I don't understand either.
No, you don't understand yourself. Then you have this.
I understand myself. I don't understand either of
this, but it's not a personal conversation. Yeah. We're having a personal conversation about CNN
I don't
and how
black
things can get
Republicans,
leaked.
and I don't understand Latino Republicans.
Well, here's today this is not about me, and it's not about you. It's about celebrating Corinne Jean-Pierre.
And I think we should, and we can agree on that.
And we will be right back. Yeah, we will be right back. We're getting the heck out of here. So that's The View. I broke my no view cuts to play that because this is just unbelievable. Sunny Hostin, who is Sunny Hostin? I don't know, Hannah. Do you know, is she famous for anything other than being on The View?
I don't think so.
Like, she had to have done something to get to The View. I don't know. I'll Google her and see what comes up. She says that it is an oxymoron, that a black Republican is oxymoron. She is just a regular moron. Sunny Hostin is. It's unbelievable to just be that vocal, that comfortable with being so incredibly, I'm going to say it, racist to suggest that it is not possible to be two things at the same time, black and a Republican. Are you freaking kidding me? How can you possibly determine that? I remember a man once said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And that was widely understood to be incredibly hostily racist, to suggest that in order to be Republican, you cannot be black. Or if you are black, you cannot be Republican. And she said the same thing about Latinos. I mean, the Latino culture is a strongly like Christian religion tends to be a big part of their culture. And to suggest that if that moral foundation lends them to have conservative ideals, that to you believe that you can't be those two things at the same time. What is she, a vending machine for race cards? How does she end up getting, how do we get to the point in culture where somebody can, in public, on The View, where tens of people are watching, say something so unbelievably racist and be casual about it? She's comfortable saying that. To suggest that your color somehow is indicative of your political leanings, why you would think that under those same guidelines that white people should be all Republicans. Because, of course, white supremacy is a Republican problem to these people. We've completely eliminated from our ability to discern who amongst us is an a-hole and who isn't. We've made it a commodity to hand out and to take back and to associate with politics only because it results in political power for a specific party. Of course, I've got news for Sunny Hostin, not for you listening, because you obviously already know that. If you're an earshot of my voice, you already know this. But if you're black, you can think whatever you want about any issue, anytime. It can be conservative, it can be liberal, because you are an individual with individual experiences, individual circumstances, individual upbringings, and that will lead you to your own individual take on politics. Surprise, Sunny. The only moron here is you. I don't know. Maybe there's some more on The View. I don't take in too terribly much of it. When it comes across the table like that, though, I have to speak on it. Sunny Hostin is so reprehensible for saying that, and we're going to call her out. 2:00 hour right around the corner. Make sure you go vote in that live chat poll. How will the potential overturning of Roe v. Wade affect the midterm elections? We'll be back in a minute.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done. And you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Manny in Chattanooga, whose local Granger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Politician Darren Bailey calls himself a conservative, swears he's a believer, but look closely at his record. Bailey's a deceiver, the textbook definition of a dishonest politician hiding his record. For instance, Bailey was caught on tape admitting he voted for Joe Biden. In his own words, listen.
I might have voted for Biden.
Biden for president?
I might have voted for Biden.
What kind of conservative votes for Joe Biden? The fake kind. Darren, the deceiver. But Bailey's a believer when it comes to one thing, property tax hikes. Voted 13 times to raise property taxes, increasing 81%, even higher than Chicago. Jesse Sullivan's no better. Claims to be conservative, yet Sullivan backed Obama for president. His campaign's propped up by Pritzker Democrats, just like Bailey's. Sullivan even founded a group pushing open borders and amnesty for illegals. Sullivan and Bailey, not true conservatives, no matter what they say. Paid for by Urban for Illinois.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Reassurance from the president. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
My top priority is fighting inflation and lowering prices for families and things they need.
President Biden vowing to keep fighting inflation as he highlights expanded internet access that's part of infrastructure spending. 20 providers offering discounted service to low-income families, with the rest of the cost covered by federal subsidies.
High-speed internet is not a luxury any longer. It's a necessity.
The president, alongside Vice President Harris, thanking her for leading the effort. He says some 30 million Americans will be eligible for the free access. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi reaching out to fellow House Democrats ahead of a Senate vote this week on abortion rights.
In correspondence with her caucus, Speaker Pelosi said the fallout from the leaked Supreme Court draft ruling means the stakes on abortion could not be higher. She says Republicans, if they end or greatly restrict abortion, will take aim at other basic human rights. She urged House Democrats to fight relentlessly for a law to protect women's choice.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Senate Democrats plan a vote this week on a bill to make abortion rights part of federal law, but it's not expected to get the 60 votes needed to advance in the 50-50 divided Senate. In Wisconsin, a briefing's expected at this hour on the arson attack at an anti-abortion group's headquarters yesterday. Autopsies today in the Bahamas, where 3 American tourists died at a Sandals resort after feeling sick the night before. A 4th remains hospitalized. Their bodies found Friday morning.
2 American couples go to the Bahamas, to Great Exuma, staying at the Sandals Resort, the Emerald Bay. They were in their own separate villas. However, the 2 villas were adjacent to each other, and that could be a big clue.
Fox's Phil Keating. Police say an environmental team is part of the probe, along with toxicology reports. Samples were sent to a lab in Philadelphia. America is listening to Fox News.
And Doug. Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's a jump from spring to summer this week on this Monday afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny skies, windy and warm. 89 for the high today. Tonight, clear, windy and mild, only going back to 69 for the low. On Tuesday, plenty of sunshine. 92 for the high on Tuesday. The record's 91, so that could fall. 92 again Wednesday and again on Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Think about it. If you paid $100,000 for a degree that's going to pay you $20,000 a year, you didn't make a good investment.
Talk about it.
First of all, our economy is not trickle down. They're going to give out that money. You know what it's going to do? It's going to trickle up. And it's going to end up in the pocket of people who produce things and own things. So, yes, the billionaires will get richer. And it's nonsensical. Biden gave out a couple $1 trillion, and it trickled up.
It's the place for ideas. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloored.com. They have all of your flooring needs covered, literally. If you are looking for a residential or commercial solution for your flooring situation, Michael's Flooring Outlet has the best customer sales staff in the business. I understand, at least my experience of shopping for something like flooring is, I might find myself in the flooring department of a store that sells, things like lumber and hardware and so on and so forth, just to kind of look and see what there is. But when it comes time to making that purchase, a couple things are important to me. First of all, that I am going to get great value and great quality. Those are the key things that I need to make sure that my money that I've worked hard for to earn is going to buy me a product that's going to stand the test of time. The other thing is that I need to make sure that the people who are helping me make my purchase care the most about me making the best purchase for me. That's what you get at Michael's Flooring Outlet. I want to talk to you a little bit about their Mohawk Aero flooring. It is a wonderful hypoallergenic soft flooring that for people who are dealing with allergies right now, you really might want to consider this type of flooring if you have a need right now in your home. That Mohawk is the best that there is, and it is available at Michael's Flooring Outlet. You can find them online at igotfloor.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and if you're looking to get the exterior of your home or business repainted, CertaPro's expert painters can help. They focus on the power of timeliness, the power of inspiration, the power of doing it right, the power of localness, the power of minimal disruption. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and can help make your home or business look amazing. Get your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've hired CertaPro for more than a decade because the work is amazing. For your home or business and the power of pro, CertaPro painters.
Hey, Mike, what are you doing way up on that ladder? You're going to hurt yourself.
Oh, I'm trying to unclog these gutters.
That's smart. I had water damage from my gutters last year. It cost me $10,000.
Wait, $10,000?
Yeah, and from over here, it looks like water's been pouring over your clogged gutters, and it's probably doing real damage to your foundation. You need to do what I did. Get off the ladder and call Leaf Filter.
Yeah, but I need to get these gutters flowing now.
That's why you need to call Leaf Filter. They'll clean and realign your gutters and install their exclusive micro mesh screen system so nothing gets in your gutters except water.
So Leaf Filter protects my house from damage and means no more gutter cleaning for me?
Bingo! Plus, Leaf Filter has an industry-leading lifetime warranty, so your gutters are covered for life.
Thanks, Frank. I'm calling Leaf Filter today.
Don't go another day with your home unprotected. Call 1-844-300-LEAF or go to tryleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection. Call 1-844-300-LEAF or go to tryleaffilter.com right now for an extra 15% savings. Call 1-844-300-LEAF or go to tryleaffilter.com. That's 1-844-300-LEAF.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Hi, this is Ken and Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. Anytime, anywhere. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Yeah, well, to paraphrase Justice Scalia, sometimes the threats to our liberty come dressed up in sheep's clothing, but this wolf comes as a wolf. This is Orwellian, it's un-American, it's unconstitutional. The very best time to shut this down was before the DHS ever announced it. The second best time is right now. This type of board was always going to be a dumpster fire, but the particular director that they chose to run it is just throwing more gas on it. But the thing to remember, as much as a lightning rod as this board and the director herself are, there's a broader game afoot. If you look back just in February, DHS put out a terrorism bulletin that swept in free speech as among the things that they considered a threat to the domestic homeland.
You know, if you've been paying attention and you know about this like disinformation board and Nina Jankowicz, who is affectionately been called Scary Poppins for her awful rendition of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It is so bizarre that I have kind of tried to not pay attention to it because it makes me, it's like it contorts me into places that I don't want to expose on the air. Like, how can this be real? How can this be the reality that we're living in? And it's not just the creation of this board in this position. It's that they actually think that this is the person to fix it.
There's already this idea, this allegation that there is anti-conservative bias on the platforms, even though there has been study after study proving, in fact, that often it's liberal voices that are being silenced, particularly minority voices.
Anna.
I can't help with that.
It makes me so angry. I sound like when Hulk is going between like Dr. Banner, like Smart Hulk, and not Hulk. Like that. This is what it makes me. And I think Nina would probably like to shut me up because all of the things that she's come out and said over however long she's been taking to TikTok or whatever it is that she's assaulting on the internet with her songs and general words. She wants you to believe that it's an illusion, that any of this stuff that we are seeing happening in our own life, it's not really happening. You're just not seeing it correctly. You just don't understand it. Well, this is a story that has been floating around for some time and on the internet. And it is one that when I first saw it, I'm like, this is not true. This can't possibly be true. But it kept showing up and I kept looking at it and I kind of wanted to wait and see what happened with it. And there are multiple people who sent this to me as well over the last week or two. But it's on Fox News. I'm just going to read it to you. An assignment question given to students in a Missouri high school is being criticized by parents over its characterization of Republicans and alleged racism. So I'm going to explain to you what this actually had here. And of course, we go back to Libs of TikTok and we see what Libs of TikTok has once again exposed. The question appeared on an in-class online assignment at a Holt High School advanced placement government course. It asked students which party is most likely to believe that the, quote, fatal shootings of unarmed African-American men by police officers is not due to racism. Excuse me, what? Like this is a real story originally reported here by our local Fox 2 News. Called out by Wentzville parents, of course. I'm going to read to you from the Fox 2 Now article. Some Wentzville parents are raising concerns about a question that surfaced in class activities connected to an advanced placement government class at Holt High School this week. Teresa, this is what the question actually said. Teresa has heard in the news about the fatal shootings of unarmed African-American men by police officers, but does not think it is necessarily due to racism. Teresa is most likely a, and here are her options: Democrat, Black woman, Republican, or Democrat-leaning woman. Have you seen this story, Hannah?
No, what?
According to the online exercise, the correct answer is Republican. So just to read the question one more time, because you're probably looking at your radio right now, like your radio is going to respond to you because this is something that you're going to hold in disbelief. This is the question. The answer to the question is Republican. Teresa has heard in the news about the fatal shooting of unarmed African-American men by police officers, but does not think it's necessarily due to racism. Teresa is most likely a Republican. I have to say that if this was an advanced placement government class in high school, I mean, granted, I guess my high school situation being in a parochial high school might have been a little different. I did go to a public, I went to Edwardsville High School for 1 year. I don't think that I would handle that well. And also when I went to high school, I mean, I remember my first cell phone was when I was 16 and it was a Nokia that played Snake. I don't even know do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
I know that's the type of phone you can throw off a building and it won't break.
That's probably still true. I mean, yeah,
I don't know what Snake is though.
Snake is a game where there's the screen.
Oh, okay, it's the game. I thought you meant music.
No, the screen of the phone was maybe that big.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a dot. and the snake goes and it moves around. You can't let the snake run into, I think, itself or the like four edges. And the idea is that you guide the snake around to gobble up the little dot, and it gets longer as you go, so it gets more difficult. But that was the game that came with the phones. That was the phone game, and you had a green screen with little black dots on it, and that was what you played. And you moved it because you had an actual number pad on the phone.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 *0 pound. Pound is the hashtag sign, kids. And you would move it by pressing 2 for up, 4 for left, 6 for right, 8 for down. That's how you move snake around. There was no arrow buttons or anything.
Wow.
You touched the screen and it didn't do anything. Yeah, if you texted somebody, it cost you 10 cents. And them 10 cents.
And them too?
Pretty sure. I think it was 10 cents to send and 10 cents to receive.
Ooh.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. This is what we grew up on. We didn't have cameras on our phones. I don't know what I would have done in that situation if that question would have been asked in the classroom when I was in there, but I would have known it wasn't right and I would have definitely said something. But I think I'd probably be an outlier.
If that would have happened to me, I went to a public school and luckily nothing like that ever happened, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
But if that was me, I would raise concern, but I know I'd get backlash. I'd get backlash from students, like, that agreed with that. I get backlash from the teacher because obviously they see it that way if they're assigning that, and probably the school too, because why would they let that happen? But it'd be worth it to make some noise about it, because what type of question is that? It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't. A Wentzville school, this is in the Fox 2 Now article, a Wentzville school district spokesperson said the question was not part of a graded test, but part of online resources. She said the question was part of a randomized set of questions. This is the email.
Who made these questions?
Well, this is the district response that they provided through email. The Wentzville School District prides itself on successfully preparing students for advanced placement exams, which are college-level exams on various subjects. At many colleges and universities, a score of a 3 or higher on an AP exam will potentially earn the student college credit. In order to accomplish this, the district utilizes a variety of AP-aligned materials, including online quiz and test preparation resources, designed to ensure mastery of the content and concepts in AP curriculum, and that will potentially be encountered on the AP exams. These resources are among the most widely used AP books and materials in the county. AP government content includes learning and opportunities to think critically about political ideology. The resources used by this district are used widely nationwide and are aligned to the AP government exam. The item encountered by the student is extreme, and the district is reaching out to the resource developers to directly address this concern. The AP program did not provide this question, and it does not reflect the AP course framework or the kind of content students encounter on an AP exam. AP students are expected to analyze perspectives different from their own. They are not assessed on adherence to any ideology or viewpoint. This is when people talk about critical race theory, and people say, on the left, say critical race theory is not being taught in classrooms. Again, I repeat, critical race theory is a method of teaching. It is a way that educators are instructed to see their students and to reach their students and to discipline their students. Critical race theory is an element that is in our classrooms in ways such as this. I have seen it in our local schools from families that I know who have sent me screenshots of things that have to do with race, that have to do with sexual identity, that have to do with sexual preference, that have to do with all sorts of different things that are not used in a way to teach people specifically. Like, you're not taking a class about, how do Democrats and Republicans feel about crime, or what is the difference that you're not engaging in this type of specific instruction. It's slipped in a question like this, so it becomes kind of a sprinkled in and somewhat eventually predictable way to reach these kids. If you are an English teacher, you might be teaching them about how to write a specific kind of essay. So you give them topics that they can write on. And some of those topics that they might be instructed to write on are about experiencing different types of sexual identities, or understanding different types of sexual identities, or maybe talking about how a specific race is marginalized, and putting these children in a position where they're being graded on their ability to write a 5-paragraph essay. And what they're actually accomplishing at the same time is a political indoctrination that those educators are being instructed to do. There are teachers across the country are sitting in seminars, are taking continuing education courses, are being told by people who are being paid lots and lots and lots of money with your tax dollars in school districts to educate these teachers on how to educate their students with this kind of lens. And if you want to go back to Nina Jankowicz, whose comments here are that liberal and minorities are the ones being silenced on social medias, not conservatives, give me a break. We are not as dumb as you need us to be. Going back to what I said earlier in the show today, this is where we all kind of have to go, all right, fine. I'll step into it. I'll step out to it. And we stop being silent. We stop avoiding the confrontation. You know how you feel. You don't question yourself on where you stand on these issues. You don't question yourself on whether or not, I don't know, that person said I'm a racist, and I don't really think I'm a racist. You know you're not a racist. You have thoughts and opinions on things that matter to you in your life, and you're not a sexist, and you're not a homophobic person. You have a set of experiences that lend you to having a worldview, and that counts. Just like anybody else's does. And if their way to win an argument is to keep you from speaking, then their argument sucks. Challenge them in a way that brings kindness and confidence to the conversation, and speak up. You cannot, for every time, I just think to myself, for every time we see a news story where the question on a test in a school is, Teresa's heard in the news about the fatal shootings of unarmed African-American men by police officers, but does not think it's necessarily due to racism. Teresa is most likely a Democrat, Black woman, Republican, or Democrat-leaning woman. The real trick in this question here is that Teresa has seen a situation where a man was shot by a police officer. All we know in this question, all that this student who's taking this placement test has to go on to decide the political party of this person, is that an unarmed Black man was shot by a police officer and killed. What we do know is that this question is written in a way that a Democrat would know just by virtue of only those pieces of information. Police officer, unarmed Black man, shoots Black man dead. What we are supposed to infer from this is that a Democrat would obviously know that that was racist. When the truth of the matter is, we don't know. We have a situation in Ferguson. Michael Brown, Darren Wilson. Michael Brown wasn't armed until there was a gun in play, and Michael Brown was a very, very large man who was attacking with his fists and his strength a police officer who had a gun on his hip. Is this situation any different? Is this situation potentially describing the situation that took place in Ferguson, Missouri? Do we know that Darren Wilson just shot Michael Brown simply because of skin color? This has gone through court. This has gone through the Obama justice system. Darren Wilson has been acquitted. This says more about the people who are writing this stuff and putting it in front of our kids than it says about anything else. And if we don't speak up, who will? Let's take a quick break. A reminder to go vote on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. How will the potential overturning of Roe v. Wade affect the 2022 midterm elections? Would love to have a great turnout for this poll. Is it going to help Democrats? Is it going to help Republicans? Or is it going to have no effect whatsoever on those midterms? Just visit the Annie Frey YouTube channel where you will see we are live right now. And in the live chat section, just click your vote. It's as simple as that. If you want to drop a comment, we'd love to read it. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
Taught me how to share, but I be selfish and I don't care because I want
This
you.
is the
I
Annie
need
Frey
you
Show.
all for me. I don't want anybody loving
Follow
my
Annie on
baby.
Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Nobody but me.
97.1 FM Talk. Uncensored discussion that's free in more ways than one. This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
So the Closet Factory, online at closetfactory.com. This is a local shop, folks. When you reach out to the Closet Factory at 314-961-4300, you are shopping with St. Louis people, and that always warms my heart. Supporters of this show and the station as well, which makes it extra nice and cozy to know that you are looking to them to solve your custom storage solution concerns. A family-owned business and the most trusted custom provider in St. Louis for closets. They offer an unlimited product range to fit any area of your home. Wherever your trouble spots are, have the Closet Factory come and give it a free look-see and see what your issues are so that they can provide you something specifically tailored to your environment, to your concerns, to, maybe you've got a bunch of kids running around in the house just saying that's my problem. And they just have stuff everywhere. If you want to help with that organization in their bedrooms, if you want to help in your master closet, or if you want to get that garage nice and tidy for spring, the Closet Factory can help you with all of these concerns. Call them at 314-961-4300. That's 314-961-4300, or visit them on their website at closetfactory.com.
We are witnessing the worst war in Europe since World War II. Russia is committing atrocities, destroying cities, and killing thousands of civilians in Ukraine. Now, as Ukraine fights for freedom, democracy, and truth, so does the world. Listen to new episodes of Whirlwind, a creation and presentation of C13 Originals, a Cadence 13 studio, available for free now on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
The Fed has raised rates.
But there's still time to put extra cash in your pocket with a cash-out refinance from Golden Oak Lending.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With home values at all-time highs and our low rates, you can pull more cash out of your home.
Call 314-567-GOLD today, while Golden Oak still has millions of dollars available.
Golden Oak Lending, short my blue.
NMLS 114937.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Updating your home with James Hardie siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you could get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Everybody's got a blank page, a story they're writing today, a wall that they're climbing.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
You could start over regrets, no matter what you've gone through. Jesus, He gave it all to save you. He carried the cross on His
Follow
shoulders.
Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
So you can start over.
Don't let your heart be troubled. Don't be afraid. To the brokenhearted, their wishes paid. Never been born, never been torn, never sinned, never disobeyed. I know you think there's no hope, no, but that ain't true. Jesus saved. I know you feeling.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being with us today. It's Monday and it is beautiful outside, and I love hot weather. And I think it's what did you said? Do you like hot weather? You prefer hot, or you said you prefer to be cold?
I said I prefer to be cold, but
then we were cold on Friday.
Yeah, I might have to change my mind after that experience. I would rather sweat than be shivering.
It's my phone says it's 83 degrees in St. Louis, but it feels like 90.
Wow.
Would you rather go sit outside for 4 hours right now?
Yes.
Or
yes. The other day was it was hard to work. Like, I remember you said at the beginning of the show, I was like, hey, do you want me to put my jacket on your lap? And you're like, no, I had to
acclimate.
Yes, but it got worse as we got out there. Like,
Yeah.
the longer we were out there, the colder it got.
It was getting cooler throughout the day. We were at the St. Clair County Republican golf tournament, and it was so fun to be out there and to meet so many different people. We talked to so many different, I think we had at least 7 candidates on that were running for state reps, that were running for judge appointments, I guess. And let's see, I'm trying to think, do we have a state senate? I don't know if we had a state senate. I could go down my list, but you can watch all of those interviews. They sat down for like 5 or 6 minutes each, and they just went one right after the other at the beginning of the Friday show. So we started at 11 a.m. and it was great to talk to these people and people who are running for the same position. So they're challenging each other in the Republican primary. This is good to have options. This is good to have people who are interested and who are willing to step in and do the job. And it's your responsibility, your job to get to know them, whether it's just looking them up on their websites or going to meet them, or you're like, I like this person, I think this is the right one, to stump for them and to make your voice be heard. The Illinois primary is June 28th, and I believe the Missouri one is August 2nd. So there's still some time.
You guys have really good options for Illinois. All those people were really nice. They spoke on a lot of good points. It was awesome. I'm glad I got to hear some information about that. Not that I even live in Illinois, but it was still cool to hear about the different people.
Yeah, I am very excited. I'm legitimately excited for the state of Illinois and what is to come. I want to talk a little bit about the formula shortage. So it's almost impossible to get formula. My daughter's formula, I don't have it anywhere. I have, I think, maybe 1 canister of formula left, and it's not the same kind that I've always given her before. My daughter is going to be 11 months old tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
I know, which means that in a month from there, she's going to be a year old. Can you guys believe that? Molly's going to be a year. Oh my goodness. So I talked to my pediatrician just this afternoon, or like right before the show started. And I called because I said, I don't know what to do if I run out of formula. I don't know what the right thing to do is. My daughter, being 11 months old, eats food like regular people food, but she probably still takes at least 16 ounces of formula a day. And she needs that. That's part of the way you're supposed to feed her. And you can give cow's milk at 1 year old. And so I'm sitting here thinking, should I be scouring for formula for my daughter? And I've got one canister probably lasts about a week of what we normally would buy. And I don't know if I think we have one of those left. So I'm about a week out from not knowing what I'm going to give Molly. Now, I am thinking to myself, if I can get 3 weeks shy of her being 1 year old when she can have cow's milk, and there are women out there, and men, of course, who have children who are 3 weeks old, 3 months old, and they're formula feeding their child. I don't really know if I should be the one who's buying that formula and taking it to my house when those children can't eat off the table. They don't have teeth. You can't feed, pureed food until you get to be about, I think, 4 months.
That's so considerate of you to think like that, but it's awful
It's
that
crazy.
it's even a thing.
I am a worrier and a preparer. Like, I think about things ahead of time and I prepare for them in an irrational way. I mean, as far as like worrying about things and being able to anticipate things, I have people around me who regularly like, how did you know this was going to happen? Or how did you anticipate this? And I'm like, I've considered every possible scenario. It's just what I do. I just think about things and in essence worry about them.
So did the prices rise too, or is it just, it's impossible to find?
I don't even know what the price is, because if you see a canister, like if we've seen a canister,
you grab it.
We've bought it just to make sure we always had one in reserve, which is what we've always done. We've always, you don't like, we replace the backup formula, not the actual one that we're going through, because inevitably you're busy. And you get to the bottom, you're like, oh my gosh, we're out of formula. And then you got to stop what you're doing and go to the store and buy some, which is what we have done in the past, of course, if we've been out. But it's just easier to have one that you're going through and then the backup one. And then when you crack the next one open, the next time you go to the store, you buy some, so that you're never buying it when you are out.
Well, that's a great idea for now, because
except for the fact that you can't find it. So, but what I mean, I would really like to know from anybody who is listening right now, if you have information that I can give out for people who have children or grandchildren that are in that situation where my heart is breaking for these people. Molly is a healthy kid. We've always fed her, we'd feed her generic Enfamil from Walmart, and it's the yellow can, and that's what we get. If we fed her regular Enfamil, she would be fine. If we fed her generic Enfamil from Walgreens, she would be fine. If we fed her generic Enfamil from Target, because they all have different brands, she would be fine.
Some babies aren't like that, though.
Some babies are absolutely not like that, and it makes a difference that she's 11 months old. If you have been feeding for 2 months a baby a formula and they are used to it and you change it, your baby may not eat it. This is a situation that I'm struggling just knowing is in existence. So if there are people who, Vicky is commenting as well. It didn't help there was a huge recall on formula. That is very true. There's a recall and there's a supply chain issue, and it's very frightening. So, I know people send me stories and stuff about the formula shortage. I'm obviously very aware that it exists. At the same time, Molly will be fine. And they told the pediatrician told me that if we need to feed her whole milk, we can feed her whole milk, and we're supposed to give her a vitamin that will subsidize what was in the formula that isn't in the cow's milk. But then they said that they will do between 12 and 18 months, I think they would have to do a blood test on her to make sure she's not anemic. And I'm like, but I don't want you to do that. I never had to do that before with my other kids because I never had to worry about this.
Right.
So if you do know of a situation, I think this is what I'll do. If you know of a situation where people can go if that they need formula, like I'm capital N need formula. And if you are somebody who needs formula, if somebody wants to tell me where that help can be received, I don't know that I'm necessarily, unless you tell me in that message that I can do it, I don't know that I'm necessarily going to tell the public where this place can go, because there are people who are out there, like this, we're talking about toilet paper again, only this is how babies eat. So if you're worried that you're going to, I mean, if you ran out of toilet paper, you'd figure it out.
There's no figuring this out.
There's no alternative. This is as serious as it gets. If you have a connection or of a facility that can help provide formula to babies in need, please contact the Annie Frey Show Facebook page and tell me about that. And unless you tell me specifically, I'll keep that information to myself, so that if there is somebody who is in need, then I can connect those two dots, because my heart is breaking for these people. And I look at my Molly, and we can feed her bananas. We can mash up bananas. We can feed her the little Gerber third foods and second foods, and she can eat Cheerios and stuff. So we can Molly will be fine, but it is going to affect us. It's just not going to affect us the way it would have if this were August of next year. I don't know what I would have done. I would have been in an enormous panic. So I want to help those people. And if you have information that can help me help those people, that I can share with everybody, or that you don't want me to share with everybody, you tell me in your message the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't hear anybody. I've heard people say that like supply concerns are basically about 100 days out, which means to me that this is a problem that's going to last at least 100 days. I don't know. That's over 3 months. Gary says, warn your listeners not to get black market formula. No telling where it comes from. That may not go without saying, which is why I'm saying it, but please don't do that. That type of stuff is why I want to make sure that we have safe places for people to go, and that people who are providing this kind of help for others, that information is out there for the right people to access it. Stick around. We got the poll question to answer when we come back. And Hannah, I don't know if we've had a poll this close.
I know. I don't think we have either, but that's good.
I like it.
Send your comments in so I can read them and know your thoughts behind your vote.
Yeah, we'll do that when we come back. The YouTube live chat poll: how will the potential overturning of Roe v. Wade affect the 2022 midterm elections? Help Democrats? Help Republicans? Or no effect? We'll be right back.
Don't let your heart be troubled. Don't be afraid.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Never been born, never been torn, never sinned, never disobeyed. I know you think there's no hope, no, but that ain't true. Jesus saved. I know you feel
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Set your marijuana issue aside for a moment. I know we disagree on that. I've accepted the fact that ultimately I will probably lose that argument when it comes to a vote. Doesn't mean I'm wrong, but I may lose that argument when it comes to a vote.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
There are a lot of smart business people out there making smart decisions by getting Rhino Shield. The latest one, the Central Illinois Care Services, they have decided to go with Rhino Shield on the outside of their building so they won't have to worry about maintenance from now on. The list is long. Joe's Tire out in Sullivan, Stonehill Wineries in Herman. They've all got Rhino Shield on their buildings. You can have it on your business or your house. Just call 877-25-RHINO. Let Darren come out and give you a free estimate as to what it would cost to get this great product on your home. 25-year transferable warranty, 100% waterproof, 8 to 10 times thicker than paint. And as a satisfied customer, 15 years in, I can tell you it looks as good as the day they put it on. You're going to love Rhino Shield. Call them right now. Tell them you heard about it on the Mark Cox Morning Show. Again, 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you.
My feet would just ache, my back, my ankles. I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
No shots, no surgery, no medication.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Good Feet arch supports fit in all your own shoes. Come to the Good Feet store for a free test walk today. You can try it before you buy it.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll free at 888-367-6512.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your HVAC system ready for warmer weather with a cooling system check included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month. For details and to get in your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being with us on a beautiful Monday afternoon. You can choose to listen to us on the Odyssey app if you like. Stream 97.1 FM Talk anywhere you go. You can also watch us on YouTube and vote in that YouTube live chat poll, which is, Hannah, what can you tell us?
Whoa, sorry about that.
She's really rocking out to the song.
The YouTube poll question today is, how will the potential overturning of the Roe v. Wade affect the 2022 midterm elections? And the options is that it will help Democrats, help Republicans, or it'll have no effect at all. Do you want me to read the results?
Yeah, let's go.
So this is a super, super, super close poll.
I mean, so close that while we are talking about this, if people go vote in this, it might actually change who the leading person is.
Yes. So 36% of the people voted that it will help Democrats. 30% of the people voted that the overturn will help Republicans. And 34% of the voters said that it will have no effect.
That's so crazy.
I know. We've never had a poll this close.
Not anywhere close to that.
And I didn't think it would be close.
What do you think it would be?
I think that it will help Democrats, which I don't want, but I think it will.
Mm-hmm. I can see ways where it would do. I could see ways that it would do all three. So I don't even know 100% what my vote would be here. I think that the way it's going to help Democrats, it will help Republicans in the same way, and that the economy is going to be so in the forefront that it ultimately will have no effect. So it's almost like all three of them. I do believe it can help Democrats, but I do believe it'll help Republicans at the same time. So if that's a wash and the economy is still, and the inflation and gas prices and formula shortages and the cost of meat at the store and all of these different things, we talked to Stephen Moore at 1:00, and he was talking about needing to replace the car that he and his wife are currently driving. And he said he went to 4 different dealers and there are no cars to buy. You can get a car ordered and it can show up in, what did he say? Like 6 months or 3 months?
Yeah,
or
3 to 6 months.
This is the reality that average Americans are living in on a regular basis. And these are definitely voting issues. I think, so I don't know. Has it changed yet? Ooh, no effect is gaining a little bit and helping Republicans is going down. Right now, helping Republicans is the last place, though.
Yeah, let's see. We have a few comments from listeners here.
Okay.
Jackie from YouTube says, those who are on the fence about Biden may fall back to Biden's team because of the Roe v. Wade decision, despite the overall disastrous Biden administration. Okay. Amy from YouTube says, I think it'll help the Dems because none of them are actually taking the time to comprehend what overturning Roe v. Wade means. I very much agree with this comment.
Yeah. You see,
nobody is taking the time to get nobody even knows what this means on the left.
Do you feel that your generation really understands what happens during abortion?
No, they don't. And, I said, last week that I never thought about abortion like this until hearing all this news, and I didn't understand Illinois' laws and everything. And it's terrifying. And I don't think people my age truly understand what this means or what Roe v. Wade is. It's not, no, they don't know. And I don't think they care to know either.
You want to read a couple more of these comments here? You can, when you vote, you can, on the Anti-Frey YouTube channel, in the live chat for any of the polls. We do them every day. When you vote in there, if you care to do so, you can always leave a comment. And Hannah's always taking these, setting them aside so that we can read them here at the end of the show.
Gary from YouTube says, I don't think overturning Roe v. Wade will have much of an impact. Republicans are gaining ground anyway. Most people are concerned with the economy and open border. I also agree with that.
So you go back and forth.
I do. I see it in all three ways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to help Democrats. Nobody should be voting for them.
just basically.
Yes.
So yeah, you can go in and still vote. We're still getting some votes coming in here, and Help Democrats is winning at 36%. No effect at 34%. Helps Republicans is back up to 31%. That's about where it was when you read it initially. So keep the votes coming while we're still in the air on the Anti-Frey YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel while you're there. And a reminder, you can stream us on the Odyssey app anywhere you go. Just download the Odyssey app to your phone, 97.1 FM Talk, favorite it, and follow us. And the Mark Reardon Show comes on right after us, and it's seamless. It's like listening to your radio. I want to read this message I just got from Sean to the Anti-Frey Facebook page. Have American women stopped producing milk in their breasts? Why is it the most overpopulated countries on the planet have very little access to baby formula, but first world countries are all of a sudden terrified they can't feed their babies? Breasts are more than a TikTok upvote. Sean, I'm going to go easy on you, sir. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it loud for everybody in the back to hear. Not all women can feed their babies by breastfeeding babies. It's really that simple. And also, if you were feeding your baby for whatever particular reason, in the event that maybe you could have breastfed, but you elected not to, which I breastfed the first 3 kids I had up until 12 weeks, and I was a working mom. So I went back to work at 12 weeks, and it was the most complicated, difficult thing to try to make that happen and have a career at the same time. So I fed all 3 of my first babies up until 12 weeks. With Molly, I decided not to because my mental health said I needed to not do it. So, Sean, I made a decision for my child and for my family that was the best decision for my child and my family. And I talked to my husband about it probably when I was about 4 months pregnant and said, I don't think I can do this. And he said, then don't do it. He was 100% supportive of me in that regard. And it was the right decision for my family, 100%. So not just to Sean, but to anybody who is having this thought about breastfeeding, please understand it is an incredibly difficult and taxing thing to do. It is a wonderful thing, yet another wonderful thing that women can do with their bodies. But it is not easy. And it doesn't always work as well as it needs to. And the amount of pressure that is added to a woman after she's carried a life for 9 months, in my case, 9 miserable months with all 4 of the pregnancies that I carried to term, it is incredibly difficult. And the suggestion that a woman should just breastfeed, dude, wrong show. Take that crap somewhere else. I think Sean's a fan of the show, so I think he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I had to say that out loud because Sean, there are a lot of people like you that think that, and I just had to say that. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm gonna turn my mic off before I reply to Sean, and I don't even have kids.
Oh man, Brandon says Sean's gonna get destroyed on Facebook. I'm not gonna. I mean, maybe I'll reply to Sean on this, and if he heard me, he'll probably say something, or maybe he won't. But it's just not that simple. And I'll tell you what, if you were somebody who made that decision to formula feed your baby, I was born in the 80s and it was normal to formula feed babies. I was formula fed. I turned out fine. Well, it's probably, questionable depending on who you're asking. But if you chose to formula feed your baby and you're 10 weeks into it, you're probably not producing milk anymore. And you can't just, fire those suckers up and make it almost literally and make it work again. It's just not the way the body works. And it's certainly not to the point where you can sustain feeding your child the way your child needs to be fed. Please, please, please don't shame women for making that decision because there's a formula shortage. Didn't know I was going to end on that soapbox. Didn't even know that soapbox was sitting right next to me, but here I am standing on it. The Mark Reardon Show is coming up next. Say your prayers for Ryan Wiggins as he continues to heal. And he'll be back again this week soon. Healthy as can be, and I'm sure raring to go. Mark Reardon Show coming up next.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom.